Hi, I'm Lisa, and over the next series of videos, I'm going to show you how animal communication can help with any issues that you're having with your dog or your cat. And I'm going to do so by sharing real-life examples and experiences that I've had in my business and in my practice. So for starters, let me set the stage. In addition to being an animal communicator, I have also been a professional dog trainer with an emphasis in behavior modification for over 20 years. And I remember when I first started learning and getting educated about behavior modification, it was pretty much a left brain process. Meaning we would analytically look at this, the situation and take a set of factors that were present in the situation and then apply a set formula, and hopefully we'd have, modified behavior. And over the years, we have more tools. Like there are more methods, if you will. There's more formulas for modifying behavior. And that's been a good thing. We've expanded our knowledge base, and that's all been very positive. But there is still a missing puzzle piece in my experience, and that is we try to think we know what the animal is thinking. We try to think we know what's motivating the animal, and in many instances we can get close, but there's nothing like talking directly to the animal to get their perspective on why they are doing what they do. So as I sat in people's living rooms over the years and listened to what was going on, I began to be able to see energetic pathways, energetic flow between humans and animals, animals and humans, animal to animal. And my process for working in these situations became increasingly intuitive. And there were times that the dogs themselves would say, this is what's going on. Usually I heard it in the form of, this is what I need. This is what I'm trying to say, right? And then I would pass that on to the human. And believe it or not, sometimes the cats even got in on it. I remember one time I was at somebody's house talking about dogs, and all of a sudden I just had this impression of a cat. And I looked around, and there was a cat sitting on the staircase looking at me, and I looked at this cat, and all I heard was, it's about time somebody got that puppy under control. And the cat was grateful that I was there, getting everything organized. So anyway, the first example I'm going to give you is a dog named Quigley. Quigley's mom has done more training with that dog than anybody. This is absolutely, literally one of the best trained dogs I've ever met, and certainly one of the best trained dogs on the planet. He has a couple of trick dog titles. He can do anything, and he's so responsive to her and just loves to please her and is very what you would consider obedient, right? But he had some very unpredictable reactivity, especially to people and dogs. I mean, it wasn't just dogs and it wasn't just people. Sometimes it was, but it was random. And she tried hard to figure out what the pattern was. Big dogs, small dogs, this proximity, that energy, whatever. And it was completely random. She didn't know what was going on. And she liked to hike with him a lot on trails where the trails were kind of narrow. So when we checked in with Quigley, I asked him, I said, first of all, the reason that we're talking to you is because this behavior is very distressing for your mom, and it makes her walks with you kind of stressful, and we're trying to understand what's going on. And so I asked him, I said, this is all happening in my mind's eye, right? I say, take me on a walk with you. So I put myself with him. We're out on a trail. We're walking. There's some people that show up, down the ways, not real close. And then I feel him react. And I asked him, why are you reacting? What's going on? And he didn't know. He couldn't answer. Well, so I knew that when he was a puppy, he was attacked by a dog that wanted to kill him, and his owner was right there with him. So needless to say, it was traumatic for both of them. And what I know is that trauma will get stored in the body, both humans and animals. It gets stored in the nerve ganglion, in the neural pathways in our gut, right? So that's PTSD, right? So that's what happens when you have trauma. It gets stored in the body, and then even though you might look at a situation, you know it's safe, your body is still reacting that it's not safe. That's PTSD. So I took him back there. I said, remember when this happened? And I went right back very briefly because what I felt was abject terror. And I immediately moved that terror out of the picture. And I explained to him what PTSD was. And I said, you know, the world is pretty safe that you're in, and your mom has your back. So I want to come up with a strategy. I said, I want to come up with a strategy so every time you're on the trail and you see a dog or a person, that we have a strategy. And the strategy is going to be, your mom will put you behind her. So she will be between you and the dog or the person, whatever it is. And that will be a signal to you that she sees it and she's got it under control and everything is safe. And if it's not safe, she will let you know. And she will let you then rise to the occasion and handle it if it needs to be handled. So he listened to all of that. He, thought that was a good idea. And the bottom line on that is that was many, many, many months ago. And they have had absolutely no reactivity at all whatsoever out on the trail since then. And his mom follows through. She sees somebody, she puts them behind her, and she follows through. So that's one example about how, connecting with animals on this deeper level can really help situations and support any training and quote-unquote behavior modification that you're going to do. The other thing that I really like about this is that we can then come up with a solution and check it out with the dog. Will this solution work in this situation? Is this something you'll agree to? And that is proven to be just a game changer when it comes, especially like when it comes to reactivity. So that's it for today. In my next video, I will probably be talking about a cat. See you then.